What's up, everybody? It's time to play some more Madden 19 today. How is everyone doing? We are live. We're playing some more of my Tennessee Titans fantasy draft franchise today, and if you missed the stream, I did a stream yesterday where I built this team, assembled them with the likes of Cam Newton, Antonio Brown, among other star players. And we had a good time playing a couple games yesterday and getting into the action here with this team. We are so far 3-1 on the season. I played 2 games, won them both. We simmed 2 and split them. So how's everyone doing today? Hope you're all having a good day as we get the stream underway. Those new Titan unis look so nice. Yeah, when I saw those and I wanted to do this fantasy draft franchise, I'm like, you know what? I gotta break out these uniforms. They're gonna look good. When we getting a haircut, Kane? Oh, man. I guess I probably due for one in around a week or so. But yeah, what I'm doing right now is I'm just in offense-only practice because I'm still getting used to the player movement myself. And this is the first thing I recommend that you do when you get into here is to get a feel for the cutting, get a feel for going around your linemen and seeing how Chris Thompson here won't just run into them all day long. He wants to get around them. And also, get used to the acceleration boost. You see how Chris Thompson just made a really sharp juke there, and that's like the most rapid movement you've seen? Well, that's the acceleration burst from the one-cut mechanic. So, when you are not holding sprint, and all of a sudden you cut, if you hit sprint right after that, you will get this burst of speed. And that's going to allow you to hit the hole quickly and get upfield. And that can make the difference in a game where you're not seeing as many big plays. So again, don't hold the right trigger speed boost, cut, and then smash down that acceleration burst. You'll get that nice burst of speed. Alright, so we're going to jump into another game today. We're going to probably play 2 more games and sim 2 more games. We'll see how it goes. Is this a sim-based franchise? No, I'm playing games, but I'm also simulating games just so we go through the season a little bit quicker. Instead of 16 games, I think I'd rather play 8 or 10. So we're going to get into a couple more today. I'm going to scout here, might as well. Gonna auto-generate some rookies. I don't think I'll end up drafting with this team, but I just wanted to show some stuff to you. The puzzle pieces are really important this year. That means that player fits your scheme, and they will get extra experience when they are trained, so they can develop faster while fitting your scheme. So definitely, whether it be free agents, rookies, whatever, go after these puzzle pieces. They are the players that are going to have the brightest futures. A lot of you talking about Kalispell. I don't have a date yet for the return. The game against West Virginia you all are waiting for. I'll say this. It'll be out by Saturday. How about that? I know it's probably not the best news, but by Saturday I will make sure to have that video up for you. I like to upload that series a lot on Saturdays just because it's college football. They kind of take Saturday during the late summer, early fall, and the rest of fall, I guess. So by Saturday, it's going to be up. Anyway, let's jump into a game now against the Buffalo Bills. Let me make sure that, yeah, Dalvin is the RB1 now. Or actually, it was making him the 3rd down running back. Yeah. Get used to these specialist positions. You have slot corner, slot receiver, 3rd down back, power running back, rush defensive tackle. I really like that addition to the game this year. It's been long overdue. Benjamin, thank you for the first super chat of the live stream. I really appreciate that. Hey, Kane, do you play on PC with the PS4 controller? No, I've never hooked up my PS4 controller to my PC to play anything. I don't really play PC games. I'm playing the PS4 version right now. So, probably not going to look the best or anything, but it's alright by me. What exactly is the role of sub-linebacker? When you go nickel, you're typically looking more at pass coverage, so sub-linebacker tends to be players who are really good in coverage with good speed. David Guerra sends a super chat. Hey Tim, did you miss me? Absolutely. I haven't seen your comments much lately. But it's good to see you here today in the stream. Cameron, thank you for the super chat. Will you use a created draft class by you or someone else's? Also, can you give us a division of a franchise team, please? I don't have the division set yet of the team I'll be using this year. I'm considering teams from the AFC East, the AFC North, the NFC West, and the NFC East, I guess. As far as the draft classes I'm going to be doing, I've really wondered how I was going to go about this. Because the way you edit prospects is it gives you a list of everybody, and you take, say, just a random quarterback, and you edit that player that already exists to be what you want. It's a really weird way to do it. I think it was kind of a, somewhat of a lazy maneuver to not have us just create players from a blank template, but it gets the job done for now. So my big issue with that is that you would see player ratings when you're editing. So if I'm going on there to edit in a running back that I want to draft, I'm going to see any ratings that pop up, and there's no way to block them. But I found a workaround, and that's to have somebody else make me the draft class. So I'm going to work with Blackjack, and I'm going to tell him exactly what I want. I'll give him ratings, I'll give him players, I'll give him appearances, and I will have him create the draft class for me. He will give me the class, delete it so no one else has it. The only reason why is because I don't want anybody spoiling it for me. I don't want to get to the 5th round and have someone shouting out in the comments that so-and-so's a superstar and I should just draft him. So this is the workaround for me to have custom prospects without any peek behind the curtain or spoilers. So I'm glad I thought of that. Yes, I am reading this, Hawk. Not sure I have enough water today, but that's okay. Super chat from Marcus. I love Kalispell. You inspired me to go buy NCAA 14. That's awesome. Dynasty is one of my favorite franchise-like modes, and recruiting in there is such a unique element, and it brings me a lot of fun. Dak. No, I thought it was Dak Prescott for moments. Deshaun Watson. It's the Bills who take over here on 1st and 10. A throw across the middle. Nice catch. Harold, thank you for the super chat. Who do you think is a dark horse for the NFL playoffs? For the playoffs, I would say, let me think here. I'm trying to give you a good answer. I'm going to go with the Washington Redskins. I don't think many teams are talking about them right now. I do think they'll be pretty good with Alex Smith, and they have a good offensive line. They have a lot of different weapons. A lot of them are like speedy guys. They got like Paul Richardson this year, and then not so speedy, but good slot receiver Jamison Crowder, Jordan Reed, Darius Geis. I feel like no one's talking about them, but maybe they could get their way into the wild card conversation. Thank you for the super chat, David Guerra. Been in Mexico for the last month, but I'm back. Well, I hope you enjoyed your time down there. 1st and 10, nice stop. The running game so far is pretty non-existent. There might have been a patch released today, I'm not exactly sure, so I don't know what was addressed. I saw some chatter about a patch on Twitter, but I didn't look into it much. Do you think the devs of Madden 19 listen to YouTubers' feedback on the game? I think to an extent, definitely. We're seeing the game get more realistic in certain ways, like with player movement. This certainly is a lot less arcadey than it's ever been for player movement. And I'm just talking about cuts and everything. You know, how easy it's been in the past to take easy plays to the house. As we pick this off, I need a block. And I think that this year it's going to be a lot more about using real football concepts. I'm not sure if that's like, you know, YouTuber feedback. I don't think most YouTubers even think that way. I know like I do and members of the sim community do. But I think that they probably do listen to a lot of the community, but also have to think about what's going to be best for the overall game and not just the vocal internet. Because, you know, we're all on here, we all have our own echo chamber, but there are a lot of people who play the game and don't go on Twitter to talk about it. They just, you know, pick up the game, play it a little bit. They don't really think about it much. Oh, I gave it right back. Meant to hit triangle. I kind of hit that in square at the same time. Kane, do you know me from all your streams and from all my comments on your videos? Of course I recognize your name, Kawaii. Kane, how were your tacos last night? Called an audible. Didn't have tacos last night. Definitely having tacos tonight. But I'll tell you, if I had the tacos last night, they would have been really good. You missed the super chat from Batmac Gaming. Allow me to refresh. Sometimes I miss them because I have to go to a different menu to see the list of all of them. Batmac Gaming indeed sent a super chat. I appreciate that. Do you just use field audio or do you edit it yourself? Field audio, like from the game. I use all that. The only audio that I really have to use outside of like music that I add in is I have some from each game. I have default crowd audio, like some generic crowd audio, because sometimes there's like copywritten music or there's just like no sound in certain spots and it sounds strange and out of place. So I have like piped in crowd audio in a lot of my videos. Most of them, I'd say. I don't have to add it in very much, but when I think there should be some crowd audio, I do throw it in there. How old are you? I'm 25 for now. What kind of prospects are you going to ask Blackjack to make? I kind of let him have full creative control over what he wants to do because I like his methods and I don't need to interfere with the process. But I will let him know players that I want made. If he decides to make prospects for my Madden 19 franchise, then that's cool. When can we expect the debut of Season 2 for Super Mega Baseball? Tomorrow. Got you tomorrow with the game. Dalvin. How much did I miss? Oh, I've been streaming for like 5 hours. We played through a whole season. Nah. You missed not even a quarter of gameplay, and it wasn't even all that great. A couple interceptions back and forth. Oh! Yeah, I'm getting kind of exposed a lot by the All-Pro CPU when I'm throwing. They're good. They're just flat out good. Got that. Antonio Brown across the 50. Had to focus there to make that one. When is the reveal of your franchise? Likely sometime this week. I just have to finalize the decision. I don't have anything to share until I make the choice myself. Last play of the quarter is a give here. Dalvin can't get through. Is Ramsey Nate Bell? Ramsey's a taller version of Nate Bell, essentially. Madden 19 is no joke when it comes to CPU skill this year. It is a lot better on defense, but they're still held back by a lot of the same AI issues on offense. Jimmy Graham. How good do you think the Browns will be this year? I think they'll be really exciting. I think they'll be a 5 to 7 win team, and I think Hugh Jackson will get fired. Got it. Will Matt Pierre carry into Madden 19? No, I will begin something new. We are in the final year of Matt Pierre's career right now. I have an episode coming later today of both Matt Pierre and my Browns rebuild. Definitely watch those videos today if you've got the time set aside. Those are going to be on the channel after I stream Matt Pierre and a little bit later Browns. There are still some weird animation bugs here and whatnot. Let me see if this was the game's fault or mine. Try dumping this off to Dalvin Cook. And there he's turning around. Yeah, like, that's an animation bug right there. The way he reacts to it. No, I did not watch Hard Knocks. I don't have HBO. I'm not very good at appointment television anyway. I set aside time for live football, and that's really about it. Although, what was I watching last night? I was watching some baseball. Yeah, I was watching the end of the Twins game. I was watching... I was on MLB Network for a lot of the night, too, so I was watching some of that. How come no one ever talks about MLB Network? Like, I feel like I'm the only one watching it, and they're just making a show for me. No one ever talks about MLB Network. I feel like, does Baseball Tonight even exist? That's all I watched at night during the summer growing up as a kid. But no, like, no one ever talks about MLB Network. They don't seem to have a great presence in, you know, I guess public space, I guess, social media. But I like MLB Network with Joe Girardi. Man, I'm just trying to throw the football. Oh, we got two people simultaneously saying they love MLB Network. I think it's a hidden gem for sports TV. What do you think of all the trades the Twins made? Kane, Khalil Mack moving? I can't see them being crazy enough to trade Mack. But with the Twins, I kind of understand it. I'm not surprised by any of it. Oh, man. You know, seeing Dozier go definitely, like, stings. But I think that if you just looked at, like, on paper what Dozier does, you wouldn't miss him that much. I mean, he's a 230 bat who's good for, like, 30 bombs a year. Which, you know, those players aren't exactly rare in today's baseball world. But Dozier's a free agent after this year. So anybody who's a free agent after 2018, I don't mind them dealing. Although I would be kind of sad if they dealt Fernando Rodney because, you know, I was kind of excited when he got here. And then he wasn't very good, nose down. And now, like, it's a roller coaster ride, but he's mostly good. Will you finish the Bears? Absolutely. Yes. I have one more game to go in the regular season, and that is going to be up here in the next couple days. I've been taking a lot of time to get some second channel stuff closer to wrapped up, and that's been going really well. So I think that will be Pure Madden 19 here very soon on the channels. Well, maybe not Pure, because I still do like NCAA, MLB, and some other stuff, but you know what I mean. Into traffic, more confusion. Is Ja'Cory Day going to be in Madden 19? Perhaps. A chance. I am a great fan, Kane, but why do I have the feeling that your face does not match your voice? I've seen, well, not like just with me, but I feel like I've seen that said to people so much throughout time that maybe we need to change our expectations of what the matching voice and face should be. Do you think that eventually one of your franchises won't win a Super Bowl, or will you play that franchise until they do? If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. You know, we're going to go to the playoffs with my Bears, and I don't know where it's going to end. It's not like the strongest team I've ever had, so who knows what's going to happen. Cameron, thank you for the super chat. Opinion on Ronald Acuna. I can't say I've watched too much Braves baseball this year, but I have paid enough attention to know about him and Ozzy and that kind of resurgence of the Braves this year. Like I feel like they haven't been relevant since the Chipper Jones era. But yeah, I like that Braves team. They got a good young nucleus combined with Freddie Freeman. So I think that they should definitely be, I would say, a force for a while now. Let's burn a timeout right there. Capix WL, thank you for the super chat. Is there a franchise you've done in the past that wasn't as fun or entertaining as you hoped? Yeah, the Bears one. Madden 18 has been a very frustrating Madden. It certainly finished better than it started. You know, when Madden 18 dropped, we had a game that was essentially a copy-paste of Madden 17 with a few features that made the game better, but a lot of bugs with the introduction of the Frostbite engine. There were a lot of problems I had with Madden 18. In each series I've done, there are crashing bugs in my Browns series. It would just, for no reason, simulate plays that my player was in with the Matt Pierre Career Mode series. I had to find fixes for all these things on my own. And then we had, like, offensive linemen and that pancake glitch. Like, it was a frustrating year on Madden 18. And then getting sliders right once I had that series underway. Like, it definitely wasn't how I envisioned everything playing out. But I think that Season 4 has been fun. Season 3 was fun. Cam to the end zone. We got Brown with one hand, and it's ripped out. Come on. But yeah, when I haven't enjoyed a franchise, it's been all on the game. It hasn't been like I didn't get fun players or we didn't have fun games or whatever. It's always been something with the game holding it back. Sliders will be hard to make for Madden 19. I don't know how it's going to be yet. We're going to be patient a little bit at the start. I'm going to let people on the Operation Sport forums make their initial sets and then get to testing them over the weekend and into next week. So for now, I'm just playing default All-Pro, getting a feel for things. And then when sets are out and have been revised a couple times and have some games played with them, I'll dive in. Bears franchise was a good idea on paper, but Trubisky in Madden is rough. Yeah, he never got better. He just never became the quarterback that we needed him to be. And even Clay Stites, whose ratings aren't perfect, he's been better. There's something that makes Stites better because it wasn't a rating boost. I wasn't just going to update ratings until Stites was good or Trubisky was good. I felt like we were getting, you know, good completion percentages. We were seeing that they weren't perfect. I wasn't going to just change sliders so that now we can get 62% completion every year. Because then what are the point of ratings? Let go of me. Many super chats, Kane. Yes, it's hard to keep up sometimes. Thank you for all the super chats, everybody. It's much appreciated. AC, thank you for the super chat. Love your videos. Been watching since your Minnesota Dynasty. Looking forward to your new franchise. Hashtag fly, Eagles fly. Hashtag Foles. Too soon, man. But thank you for all the support since the Minnesota Dynasty. Glad you're looking forward to a new franchise. And I'm glad so many of you have stuck around. I know my channel, you know, we don't get revolutionary over here. We do franchises and stuff, and the formula hasn't been changed that much over the course of these 7+ years. But the fact that you guys still keep coming back is pretty awesome. Lico, thank you for the super chat. Whoops, I missed one from Sunshine. I'll come back to you. Bo Lee, Madden 19 head coach. It's possible. I gotta think of someone to do it. Maybe it is Bo. And now back to Lico. Hey, Kane, I wanted to let you know I've been watching your videos since middle school, and now I'm a senior in college. Man, where did the years go? I can't believe it. I still feel like I'm the 18-year-old that began this whole journey here, and now I'm 25 years old. Are you kidding me? I'm not even 25 for that much longer, by the way. Hurricane, why are you a Viking fan? Just curious. I grew up, and my family were all Viking fans. That was my first exposure to football. The Minnesota Vikings, playing Madden. And, so, you know, I kind of just adopted them as my team as well. And, you know, got big into the sport. I grew up a lot of my childhood in Minnesota, so that all matched up. Do you think Baker Mayfield will be successful in the NFL? I do. I was very high on Baker coming out of the draft. Hey, Kane, longtime fan, fellow Viking fan. I work at training camp. Also, something interesting. Diggs got heat sick today at camp, had to miss autographs today. Well, I hope he's all right. I wanted to maybe think about getting down to training camp before the public access is over. Next week, they have some practices against the Jaguars. I thought that'd be really fun to check that out. Get to see some players like Jalen Ramsey and whatnot. Third and 1, it's Cook. I'm at 43 yards on 10 carries, so that's a really good average to end up with, a realistic average to end up with. I really hope auto subs work this year, because I wish that I want to get running backs to sub without me having to do it all myself. Oh, I'm going to pause some music here. Hope you don't mind. What do you think about Hard Knocks? I'm not exactly sure why it exists, but it's usually pretty good entertainment. It just seems weird that the NFL allows like a TV show to take place when teams are trying to get ready for the season. It feels like such a major distraction, or at least a significant one. Stack box, trying to cut downhill with Cook. Keep getting worried by that end because they keep like strong-arming my tackles, and it ruins my route to the outside.
20.
Oh, come on! I wanted to play some basketball with Jimmy Graham. I'm holding L1 to throw those, so there's not much risk of an interception. Whoops. I probably didn't have to throw that one that high, but Cam also didn't have to miss the throw. So the touchdown is going to have to wait. I want to show you some celebrations. Yeah, I was reading about Brandon Zylstra last night. People are talking about him potentially making the roster. There was someone who messaged me saying they were at training camp yesterday and they think he's going to make the 53. So I will have to see. I checked out some of his CFL stuff. Doesn't seem like he's the most explosive athlete, but judging from his highlights, which I'm not sure how fair this is to take away from it, but his concentration on like tough contested catches is really impressive. Good run. Will we ever get another 2K video or stream? Maybe on 19. There's just so much going on the channels right now that can't really think about basketball right now as much as I enjoyed getting into 2K. And I'm sorry I didn't really follow through with more of it. It could have been really cool if I did. But I wasn't very good at the game, and finding time to get better so I can give you better streams just didn't really happen. Who's your favorite player on the Vikings? For me, it's Diggs. Yeah, I like Diggs and Thielen. Flag down. What difficulty is this on? Default All Pro. Are you liking Madden 19 so far? I do have pretty positive thoughts on the game thus far, but that's not without, you know, noticing a lot of issues I have with the game. There's a lot that I like, a lot that I am not a huge fan of. But I have a better taste right now than like this time last year with Madden 18 being brand new. Thoughts on microtransactions in these sports games? I'm personally not a fan, and I don't contribute to them. I have bought packs in the past, but it's been years. I don't think that you get a very good value. I don't think there's a worthwhile payoff. So, but I mean, everyone's different. For some people, maybe they do get some legitimate enjoyment out of it, but I know I don't. I know that I've spent, you know, I go on there and buy some packs, and it's like, whoa. Like a few minutes ago, I had 10 bucks or whatever, and now I don't have 10 bucks, and I have some worthless cards. Not even cards that I'm going to have fun with playing. Like, the odds were so bad, it's like, why would I want to do this more? I don't even want free packs at this point. I don't even want to grind for solos or anything. I have not made my Ultimate Team this year. Every year, I try out Ultimate Team except for this year. Maybe I will at some point, but as of right now, I have not even gotten into the mode. I played a lot of Ultimate Team last year, and I'm just kind of done. I don't really see much reason to get back into it. Dalvin! It feels like maybe the running game was tuned a little bit because I'm getting to have more fun than normal. I like the Titans' new jerseys. Cam, slide, or dive, whichever you choose. One second, I need some water. Three and change to play here in the quarter. We got Cook downhill again for 2. What are your favorite offensive and defensive formations? For offense, my favorite would have to be like a pistol 3 wide. I like the pistol formation because I feel it's the most versatile formation in football. You get the benefit of like a half shotgun, so you're a bit already like, you don't got to drop back 7 steps ever from this. You can have motion in front of you. You have a running back still behind you. You can have a running back to your left or your right. I feel pistol gives the defense more to think about than anything at all. For defense, probably a stacked box cover 3 with a safety down. Oh no, that's not ideal. I like 3-3-5 a lot as well, especially when you want to get some unique blitz packages in there. Hey. 9-3, Tennessee. They're going to send the rush. We're firing it out there for John Ross in the end zone. Touchdown. We had to get John Ross out there eventually. I can't keep using him as a possession receiver. Is Madden 19 worth it if you only play franchise player mode? It can be, but I think that answer is going to be different for everybody. You can celebrate these two? Aw. There are some more significant upgrades this year with the new archetypes and the Coach XP, along with custom draft classes. So if we get some decent sliders and there aren't any major bugs, I do think that franchise this year will be a lot of fun in general. But right now I feel like the CPU doesn't exactly know how to play offense. Their defense can be really tough at times. But I also feel like the defense, the CPU doesn't change up their strategies enough. They stick to too many of the same plays. They don't really keep you guessing. And I feel that their play calling is another big issue. That's hard to fix. We are destroying this team. Hey Kane, love your Browns series. Can't wait for your Madden 19 franchise. Greetings from Germany. Thank you for the message. Oh, we got a shot downfield now, and it's overthrown. I'm seeing a lot of overthrows on deep balls, which those throws are low percentage, so I'm not mad at it. I agree, Carlos, that I don't think that rookie rating should be revealed as soon as they are, especially like at the draft, as soon as you select them. Oh, nice. That's a new animation. I wouldn't be mad if they just, like, you couldn't really see ratings or didn't have a full idea until, like, their first year was over. I think that'd make a lot of sense. Fitz. Gerald. Touchdown. I like that high pass too much. It's very useful. It's how you avoid interceptions but give yourself a chance at touchdowns. It keeps the defender away from the ball. Who's better, Julio Jones or Antonio Brown? Antonio Brown is better in my opinion. Cameron, thank you for the super chat. Kane, did you know there's a college football game like out of the park? I was not aware. No. I saw there was this other football game on PlayStation called like Maximum Football 2018. Not sure how good that game is, but it's out and I didn't see anybody talking about it. I think Axis Football is still coming this year and I'd like to check that game out, see what it has to offer. I just want to play football. I'll try out all sorts of games. Do you like that physical attributes can be upgraded? I'm not a huge fan of that. Because, like, who gets faster in their NFL career? I think that the veteran combine a couple years ago was a big eye-opener that players get a lot slower. Working tonight, best way to start my day with a Hurricane stream. Awesome, Robert. That would be pretty cool if when you drafted a rookie, there was no overall. You would have to wait until the first season was over and the overall would be based on their performance. Oh, wow. Yeah, if there was like a baseline, well, you'd have to have ratings for them somehow. They have to have some idea of how good they can catch the football, how good they can do different things. But if it was more moldable in that sense, where, you know, you get players who have some raw ability and how they perform over their first couple of years really dictates where they go, that'd be really cool. Because there needs to be some way to replicate how players become busts despite having good talent, or, you know, how players sometimes take a while to develop in the first place. What do you think about Gridiron Champions? I'm interested in it. It's hard to have any thoughts on a game that doesn't really exist yet. But I'm definitely looking forward to whatever they can make. Look at that one-handed grab. And if anybody wants to make a fun arcade football game, please. I'm begging you. Give me an NBA Playgrounds, NBA, NFL Blitz, NFL Street style game. I just want to play football in all kinds of ways. Wes Welker to the Hall of Fame? I don't think so. I feel like he'd be Hall of Very Good. When you think about receivers that don't make it, like how Tim Brown had to wait a while, Terrell Owens didn't get it on the first try, like Wes Welker, I wouldn't really give that one any chance. Maybe Patriots Hall of Fame. Are you going to keep doing franchises until you've used all 32 teams? Not necessarily. I just try to pick a new team every year. So a good win for us. Here are the numbers from the game, by the way. I am throwing a lot of incomplete passes, but the stats do look pretty good for the most part. That's a great thing. The running games got going a bit more in this one, and I felt like there was a good amount of pass rush. Kane play backyard football again. A lot of people want to see me bust that out again. How do simulation stats look like? Not perfect, that's for sure. They tend to, like, if you think about, my problem is they stay too true to averages. And what I mean by that is, like, when you're simming running back stats, you're typically going to end up with them getting like 4 to 5 yards a carry, sometimes more, sometimes less. But when you look at the results, a lot of players, like, they're not rushing for more than like a 9-yard carry. That's their long in a lot of cases. Let me show you an example, because I know I'll find one. All we got to do is go to the NFL yardage leaders. Like, you're going to tell me that Jerick McKinnon carried the ball 85 times and has never carried the ball longer than 9 yards? I feel that they're sticking too close to averages, and it's not the way things really are. We tend to expect average results, and we ignore the fact that it's actually outliers that really drive a lot of things. Yeah, all these games, and he couldn't get longer than a 9-yard carry. Why is All-Pro CPU low scoring? Defense is better. The CPU defense is better, and the CPU offense isn't good enough. Let's see if they have any good safeties in the classes this year. Been really disappointed by the safeties in classes recently. This one doesn't seem to be much different than Madden 18. Yeah, I'd love it if I could upload my last franchise into Madden like MLB. I'm not sure why that's not a feature yet. For a long time, no one did it, and it was like, oh, it must be too hard. But then MLB did it, and nobody else followed suit for 4 years. I think teams are just not The development teams are just not prioritizing it, and I think they're ignoring the value of it. Yep, I know how to slide as a quarterback. Just sometimes I'm still holding right trigger for a split second as I try, so just playing it too close to the edge. What Madden do you think has been the best? Me personally, I love Madden 04. I had a ball on Madden 12. I also enjoyed Madden 04 and Madden 05. Hard to really say how those games would hold up now, the older Maddens. I had a lot of fun on them, but I'm not sure what I'd think of them today. Thoughts on Lamar Jackson's first preseason game? It looked like he was a bit surprised by how fast everybody was. So, you know, he stands out a lot more on the college field than on the pro field because everyone's fast. You can't make it in the NFL as a slow player, especially in today's day and age where it's more passing oriented. Slow linebackers getting phased out. It's all about speed. You got to have speed to defend other speed. Now, he's still faster than a lot of players, but he's going to have to learn how to use it. I love Madden 12. Your first Vikings franchise is legit one of the best series ever. Thank you, Carlos. I really love that series. I love just sitting down to play that game because it was all over the place. Blowouts, low-scoring games, high-scoring games. I never knew what I was getting into when I sat down to play that game. I loved every second of Madden 12. But the potential system was terrible. Yes. Is Percy Harvin still in the league? No, I think he's retired again. Ooh, look at that juke by Dalvin. I think managing your use of speed moves, whether you're holding the right trigger, precision modifier, I think those trigger and stick skills are going to be really vital to getting success and making players miss. It's not going to be as simple as it's been. Oh, come on, John. So if any of you have had a chance to play Madden 19, what are your thoughts on it so far? I know it hasn't been out long with the Hall of Fame release.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue.
Short pickup here on the ground. We got Joe Mixon in their backfield. Who's that quarterback? I didn't take a look yet. 15, Ryan Mallett. Who's that? Pat Mahomes! I can't wait to watch Mahomes this year with Andy Reid and the year development. Like, rookie quarterbacks, especially the ones as talented as Mahomes, do not get a chance to sit and, like, develop anymore. We've seen that be the case. So for Mahomes to have that chance with Andy Reid, really excited to see how it all works out. I think it works out well, by the way. Couldn't think of any other quarterback who wears 15 besides like Tebow. That was a false start. By the punt protector. I'm not going to edit. Are you going to make changes to players for ratings like Shazier, Chancellor, and Cliff Averill? Probably not. I don't typically edit ratings unless it is to, like in the past, we'd have all sorts of rookies getting cut in franchise. So I would alter ratings to make certain veterans worse so they get cut instead. Like Derrick Henry getting cut was a thing in some Madden. I forget which one. We'll be making sliders sometime soon. Like I've mentioned, I'll take a look next week or this weekend at what is going on with Operation Sports slider sets, and then I'll just kind of go from there. That's unlucky. Any recommendations for a team to use in franchise? I want a team with a young receiving core and not a very good team, but I also don't want the worst team in the NFL. You want a young receiving core and not a very good team. Well, you could go with the Miami Dolphins, who, you know, they're an all-right team, but they're certainly not top tier or anything. And if you want those young receivers, you got Kenny Stills, Devontae Parker, Leonte Carew, Kenyon Drake at running back. That might be a good fit for you. I'm going to make a video showing you, like, top 5 franchise teams to use in Madden 19. But if you just want, like, give me criteria and what you're looking for in a team, and I'll recommend one for you. Like, that's easier. I'm not going to sit here and just rank every team, but if there's something specific you want, I can give it to you. What are my thoughts on the Bears for the upcoming season, Sawyer? I think that they're going to be a nuisance. I'm not sure they're going to get a lot more wins, but they're going to be really annoying. They're not going to be this slam dunk victory that they were last year. So I think that they could take a game from the Vikings at Soldier Field. They could be a 6-7 win team, but I don't see much more than that. They're messing around too much with Roquan Smith. And Mitchell Trubisky, I still think of him as a rookie because he played 1 year at UNC, 1 year with the Bears where he threw 7 touchdowns because they didn't throw the football. They had no receiving help. They had to trade for Dontrell Inman, who's like a 4th receiver at best, or maybe 3rd. Like, his rookie season was hardly, like, preparation for what he's going to do this year. He knows the offense better, but I feel like he still has so many learning experiences to have on the football field. And those couldn't get out of the way as a rookie because they didn't play in competitive games. They didn't have great receivers. They were so limited. It was almost a waste of a rookie year, to be quite frank. A team that is going to need a serious rebuild but has some young stars. Arizona Cardinals. They are a boom and bust roster. Nice job, AB. The Cardinals have a very, like, stud and dud roster. They have David Johnson, Patrick Peterson, Larry Fitzgerald, Chandler Jones. But they also have, like, a bunch of players in the 70s. They have a few young guys you can count on, like Budda Baker. But that team is actually kind of in rebuild mode. But they have, like, 4 stars to build around. Why didn't Bo Lee ever play quarterback? Because he was, like, our 7th best quarterback. I like the Titans' old uniforms more. The Titans always had a good uniform set. There are elements of this uniform I like a lot. The color scheme and the pattern I think is really good. I feel like the font, the text on their jerseys is maybe a bit too thin. Makes it look more college-y. One team that needs a new look. Can we get the Ravens new uniforms? Can we make that happen, please? Their numbers, it's like graphic design straight out of the 90s. It's no good. We got these, like, offset strokes. They look bad in today's day and age of, like, the way modern styling has changed, where simple is better. You don't want to do that kind of styling anymore. I think the Ravens uniforms are among the worst in the league. And they have a great color scheme to work with, too. No, the Browns have good uniforms. I think that their switch was positive. As a Ravens fan, they need matte black helmets. That would look pretty sick. Everything always has this glossy finish to it. Like, matte looks so good when it's like the right color and has the right accent. I like how much more physical the running game is. PS4 or PS4 Pro? I'm on the PS4. I'm not sure if or when I would go to PS4 Pro because I'm expecting a new console generation within the next 2 years. So I'm not sure it's really worth it. And I'm not making content at like 60 frames and I can't have all these max bit rates. So if I get, you know, better equipment, better internet, that kind of thing, then it would be a bit more worth it. But in the meantime, this will do. Right now, I wouldn't be able to take advantage of PS4 Pro tech very much. It'd be for just like playing on my own and having a nicer appearance of Horizon Zero Dawn or something. Or God of War, I haven't played that one yet. I have not been able to really get through games during the summer this year. Just not finding any time whatsoever to play much console games. So I'm waiting on fall and winter to get into like Detroit and God of War. Should be a fun fall and winter though for games. I'm excited for it. Oh no, Kalispell Dynasty is not dead whatsoever. It'll be back by Saturday. It's just with the new Madden, things get very hectic on my channel, so it's hard to keep up with things that aren't time sensitive. One thing I want them to change is watch how fast these players get to the line. I'm not touching anything. Okay, that time it wasn't fast. I think when the clock is maybe, the play clock is lower, they sprint to the line. If that's the case, I might do something to fix that. Like, on too many plays, they sprint to the line and it just looks out of place. Spot concept, John Ross. I'm probably not going to do draft classes with real college players, and the reason is because I like drafting players that only exist in my universe so that they can become, like, you know, new names and new players that we care about. I feel like if you look back at my older franchises that had those draft classes from NCAA, I think it was a lot more fun when we switched over to the new style and we had the Nate Bells of the world and the Reggie Shepherds. I'll take that all day over, you know, getting Odell Beckham before he was Odell Beckham. By the way, high ball, Larry Fitz, money. Got a super chat here from Jared. Hey Kane, love your vids, been watching since the Vikings franchise. Keep up the great content. Thank you for sticking around for so long. I know there aren't many things in my life I've done for over 7 years. Will you make a video showing all the changes you make to gameplay to make it more useful for franchise? Changes to gameplay. You mean like sliders and settings? I do show that stuff off quite often. Better team, Minnesota Season 6 or Kalispell Rose Bowl champs? Minnesota Season 6. You don't want to mess with that team. That defense, no, you don't want to play them. Is Anton Greenberry your best quarterback you've ever had? He very well could be. Anton Greenberry. That series has been such a surprise to see how popular it was, how many seasons we've gone through, how much enjoyable it's been. Because in the Browns rebuild, if you're not familiar, on my second channel, it's a franchise that I began as just a fun little series to do when the Browns went 0-16. I wanted to do a series where I tried to turn them around. And one second. I'm going to come back to the story in a moment here. Did anyone else see that? I'm not sure if it's going to be in the instant replay. It is. What are you doing on the field? It's both coaches morphed together. Oh, no. 12 men on the field. Both teams. Offsetting penalties. Replay down. But the Browns rebuild has been a series where I just wanted to do a rebuild. I wasn't looking to play a bunch of games. I just wanted to build out the roster, go through things really quickly, and see what we did, what we could do. And it was only supposed to be a few episodes as we tried to get them a Super Bowl. I assumed it would be very easy, and it wasn't. And it turned into a series I've done now for many months. It's going to be, I'm posting episode 76 today, touchdown Cam Newton. And I have only played one game inside of it. Otherwise, we've watched a lot of games, we've simmed, and it's been a really awesome experience. And if you haven't checked it out, I recommend watching it. The games have been really entertaining, and the series as a whole has been a big surprise. I don't know who my next team is going to be for that rebuild style sim franchise where I'm not going to play, but I will be doing another one here on Madden 19. I have not picked a team. I have not picked anything yet for Madden 19. I'm too indecisive. Do you think All-Pro is still too easy? Yeah. Especially as I get to play more, it's becoming easier each game. Kane, in a Buffalo Bills franchise, what would you address in the first off-season in both free agency and draft? I would focus on wide receiver help. I know now you're going to have Kelvin Benjamin and Corey Coleman, but I don't know if either one is going to be the guy. They have a great young secondary, so that's wonderful. But I think that you need to get a wide receiver and a pass rusher on that team. Oh, come on. You're just watching him, Thomas Davis. That series is just structured so well. I've loved the structure to it because I knew the pacing was going to be a big challenge because I wanted it to move fast, but I also didn't want to gloss over details. And I wanted there to be context as to why you'd care about these players and where they've been. And the formula, I think, is perfect. I love the formula. So, we are going to be doing it a whole lot more. Brandon thinks I'm picking the Giants. I'm considering them. They're a really good team to pick for franchise this year. Do you think Josh Allen is going to end up being a bust? I would guess that he'd be a bust over not a bust. I'm just not convinced. A deep shot. John Ross. Oh, it's knocked away. I just want to know how a coach gets to keep a job after going 1-31 the past 2 seasons. Here's the thing. You can go 1-31 when the front office or when the owner is worse than you are at your job. I feel like if the Browns can't win like 3 games this year, I think that they should be able to take the team away from Jimmy Haslam. Because what is he doing to help out that franchise? Thank you for the super chat, Quan. I think what he was asking was what other things you may do in your franchise besides sliders to make the game more realistic, which I wondered as well. Oh, yeah, well, there's nothing too special, but the big thing is I don't user on defense. You don't see me out here, you know, usering Thomas Davis trying to ball hawk passes. I sit here, I hold L1 because I'm not trying to be a part of the action on defense. I want the players to play. Now on offense, I do play because I don't feel like I can trust the AI, and I want to play offense. I feel like it's very different because I'm using their abilities and everything. I'm using, you know, their throw power, their throw accuracy, their spin move, their catching is all up to them. Whereas on defense, awareness, being in the right position, coverage, I can mask all that, and I don't like that. Now, yes, I can mask, like, awareness for quarterbacks myself, but I don't think that's the same thing. I don't think it's, like, as severe. And that's why I like the Browns series, because it is a way for me to not control anything on the field. And the gameplay is good. I think the gameplay in the Browns franchise is really good. Not perfect, but it's really fun. Any thoughts on Josh Rosen? He was my second favorite quarterback in this draft. I feel like he could be in for a rough rookie season, but then he irons it out if he is committed to it. I feel like the problem with Rosen in college was that sometimes he trusted his arm too much, and he throws a really good touch pass. But I feel like if you rely too much on that touch pass, you've got to learn first how to utilize it. And I don't know if it's going to be ironed out in practice and training camp and preseason. So I wonder if he ends up throwing a lot of bad INTs this year while he learns what he can get away with. But I am a big Josh Rosen believer. But I'm not so sure about him as a rookie. Is this the year Matt Pierre finally wins a Super Bowl? Either we're winning a Super Bowl or it's going to be the most heartbreaking season. So no matter what, it's must-see YouTube. Oh, got it! John Ross with the one-hander. Did you see the hole in that cover two? Oh my goodness. What happened to Deshaun Kaiser? Did not get a chance to improve. They threw him out there. And first they called bad game plans. I think Hugh Jackson did a very poor job structuring the game to Kaiser's skill set. I feel like they called way too many 7-step drops, too many like comeback routes. It was not good. I didn't think those receivers fit. I didn't think that the quarterback fit what they were trying to do. I feel like if he were calling those plays for the Chargers and you had Rivers throwing a Keenan Allen, maybe that stuff would have worked, but not what they were doing. And I feel like there was just kind of irreparable damage from, you know, benching him, not benching him, having him play too early. Like, his head had to have been spinning all year trying to keep up. He wasn't super experienced in college. And then he gets thrown into the NFL action because he has a good preseason. And then some injuries get him onto the field too. I feel like he probably never had a chance to breathe. Never had a chance to fix what was wrong because he was always, you know, playing. He didn't get a chance to improve as a player enough. I don't think he had that kind of experience. And Kaiser's on the Packers now, and that's going to give him a better shot at success. I wonder if he'll be a little bit more composed in the preseason now that there's a lot less pressure on him, and he does have some experience and a lot of game tape to evaluate and improve upon. Like, we all know his bad habits now. Can't be a secret. John, thank you for the super chat. Thanks for all your awesome, entertaining videos. Thank you for watching them, John. I love making them. behind Brett. I wonder if they trade Hundley, but I'm not sure who would want Hundley. I think Hundley's a good backup quarterback. I think the Packers probably don't want to keep Hundley, and I think for good reason. Like, he played a lot last year. He spent his entire career in Green Bay. If you couldn't get better play out of him last year, you're quite frankly not going to get it. So I think getting Kaiser made sense because it's like, maybe this backup will be better. But in the meantime, Hundley is there in case Rodgers gets hurt. At least he knows the offense. It's hard to be ready for a backup quarterback to just step in and win games. That's really rare. And the times that it does happen, those players tend to reverse their results the next year. The Kevin Cobbs of the world who do well as a backup and then go to a new system, a new offense, and a new city with new teammates and new coaches, and they're back to not being very good. Happens more often than not. What do you think about the Bucs situation this season? Not too good, honestly. I feel like on paper, roster's pretty good. Secondary needs some work where they address their edge help defensive line this year with JPP, Vinny Curry, Vita Vea. But I'm just a little bit concerned about the quarterback situation. Winston's suspended, and he hasn't even taken that next step when healthy anyway. Is Dirk Cutter the right coach? That team plays below their potential too much. And they're in a very tough division. So it's hard to feel good. Couldn't get it away. Third down and 9. I want Ross to split the safeties. This is Tampa, too. Got him. John Ross to the 12. How well do you think the Broncos will do? I'd put them probably about... I'm going to go with like an 8-8 season for them. But they could get into the wild card mix. It's just that I've seen the situation with prior Case Keenum players, like I said, Kevin Cobb. I've seen it happen too often before where you get one great year, then you try to do it elsewhere, and you just can't do it. Now, Denver's a good home for him. I think it's a great fit. But I don't know if it can happen again. And quarterbacks dictate so much. Got him. Remember when the Jaguars drafted a punter over Russell Wilson? Yes, I do. Them drafting Brian Anger. I remember, too, when they did it, I played devil's advocate, not because I agreed with it, but because I was like, I'm going to try to justify this pick. And so my reasoning was that, hey, if you're not going to be all that great, if your offense isn't top tier, if you get an elite punter and you can get better at the field position game, that can help you win. Turned out Anger wasn't elite, and it was a waste of a pick. Yeah, Kevin Cobb had a lot of injury problems, that is correct. But his play also, when healthy, on new teams wasn't great. We have seen very few players be like backups and then go somewhere and start and actually be good. It doesn't happen often. I remember Matt Schaub. I remember being excited about Matt Schaub before they traded him. And then he had, a very good stretch in Houston. Can't regret the Matt Schaub era. Gave them the best years the Texans have ever had. Also gave a lot of pick sixes to opposing defenders at the tail end of his starting tenure. Yeah, Raiders took Janikowski first round. Teams used to do weird stuff. I think in the past there might have been less of a concern of like ridicule But now in today's day and age with TV and media being as big, I feel like teams take even less risks than normal. That, and I think there's also a lot of decades of just history to learn from. I think that we all know that taking a kicker in the first 2 rounds is a ridiculous idea, but the Buccaneers still did it. You know, the Ricky Williams trade, that would never happen nowadays. Oh man, we're just pouring it on. The Herschel Walker trade, that would never happen nowadays. And maybe those things don't happen now because they happened in the past and no one's making that mistake again. Yeah, they keep throwing off their back foot here, and I pick everything off. They're easy to catch. So, 42-10. Now we got a high-scoring, lopsided game. Need some sliders soon. Yep, Tyrod Taylor, that's one example of him being a backup and going to have success elsewhere. That's a good one. I am a Tyrod Taylor fan. But I think that he's in the right kind of role. I'm not totally sold right now on him, like, 16 games. I think that, you know, he can take a team to the postseason. We've seen it. It's just, I still don't think that he's like a top-tier quarterback, but you can't just base it off of if someone's top tier, because there are 32 jobs in the NFL for starting quarterback, and there are only like 6 top-tier quarterbacks. Not everybody can be Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, or someone like Cam Newton when he's on top of his game. I think Cam's been really good. You have to be like a top 20, top 16 quarterback. And I think Tyrod is that for now. He's in that range anyway. (42-10). Now Mahomes has not played well at all. A lot of bad habits here. And inaccuracy, but he gets bailed out. Yeah, the Bills missed the playoffs 18 years in a row and then sent off Tyrod Taylor. The writing was on the wall. They kind of looked into the postseason, you know. They only made it, too, because of Andy Dalton and Tyler Boyd in that touchdown against the Ravens, I think. They just feel so indecisive during the Tyrod era. Indecisive about supporting him. So I'm kind of glad he got a fresh start somewhere, even if it's Cleveland. Where maybe he doesn't have much success, but I mean, Cleveland's got a fun roster. I think they're going to be entertaining. It's just, does the entertainment become victories at some point? Yeah, and they benched Taylor for Nathan Peterman. That was something. How much longer do you think the Bengals keep Dalton? Would have to imagine his leash there is getting short. I feel like he's good enough to where they're not going to address it in the first round, so it's up to an A.J. McCarron to take over. Like, McCarron was a later pick. I think he was a 5th rounder. McCarron was good for a while, but the reputation on him has definitely fallen fast. That's the problem. Andy Dalton rides that line between good enough and not good enough. And he bounces between the two all season long. Have you ever seen the Dalton coaster? His grades on PFF? It's a wild ride. Oh no, Dalvin's hurt now. Picked off Chris Thompson. Yep, AJ's on the Bills now. I wonder, there's not been much talk about him or Josh Allen starting. I would assume it'd be Allen, but I feel like there should be a legitimate competition there. Let's try that gun monster. Thoughts on Tannehill this season? I kind of like Ryan Tannehill. Oh, that wasn't good. I think with the talent they have on that team, like, they could also sneak into the wild card conversation. Not sure if they're all the way there. But I think Tannehill's a solid quarterback. Let me ask you guys this. Would you rather have Ryan Tannehill or Andy Dalton?
Here we go. Green.
What are my thoughts on the Cardinals this year? They have a very incomplete roster. I feel like their offensive line has issues. I feel like they just don't have I feel like they need a couple more years of drafting and developing.
Green 39.
They have some good key players, but now they have like a brand new quarterback situation with Bradford, Glennon, and Rosen. And overall, their roster isn't like stacked or anything. It's not even like an above average roster in the NFC, in my opinion. And Dominican Sue. Can the Vikings win multiple rings? We got to get them to win one first. We got Tannehill, Dalton, Tannehill, Jimmy G, Jeff Garcia. I think a lot of you, it seems like most prefer Dalton. I think I'd prefer Dalton by a very, very slim margin.
Here we go. Green 90. Green 90.
Ooh, knocked down, turnover on downs, Pat Mahomes. About to wrap this game up here. It looked a lot more lopsided. Oh, nice run, Phil. That was cool. Let me get a deep shot here for Darius. Not Darius Slay. I think I just saw Darius Slay. But for John Ross, who isn't out there. So it's going to be Larry Fitz instead. Cam launches this one deep downfield, and Larry brings it down. One more. Yes, I do think the Panthers will be fun for franchise this year if you want to use a team that maybe you could go to the playoffs with in the first season. Panthers have some really good players, but also some offensive line concerns. You need to work on developing their receiving core a bit, but they have some fun young players and some veterans on defense you'll eventually need to replace. Doubling Ross. Someone's getting a jump ball here, whoever has single coverage. John Ross, it's up to you! Nope, incomplete. Good win, though. Yeah, I think I need to, like, reset some sliders or do something, because the gameplay for the CPU seems a little bit off. Like, I can tell when the gameplay is a little bit off. You have animation warping and some weird bugs. So, I haven't really messed with any settings, but I'll try to, like, just go in, reset, maybe load in some default sliders or something of that nature. And then come back with another stream maybe tomorrow. So I passed the ball really well here with Cam Newton for the most part. Ran the ball decently too. Cam had 2 rushing touchdowns. Larry Fitz, star of the show. Yeah, I know. Panthers already having a banged up O-line. That really sucks. I like that Panthers team a lot. And I want to see Cam and everyone else do well. I like those players. Cam, Greg, Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis, McCaffrey, DJ Moore, good rookie. Why don't we sim through a couple more games, everybody? We're at 5-1 now on this season. I think we just simmed through a game. Or no, we lost to the Chargers. 31-17. I have kind of narrowed down my choices for the franchise team, but it's still like I've narrowed it down to like 8 teams, so it's not exactly a thin pool. We're going to sim one more here and play the Patriots next episode. Any Alvin Kamaras or Kareem Hunts this year? Any late round halfback to break out? Ooh. Man, I'm not really prepared to answer this right now. There's always going to be potential for that. Those guys weren't really late rounds. Who's someone I liked? Trying to think back to this last class, if I can give you an answer. I'm not exactly sure right now, but I'll give you some breakout players when we get closer to the season starting. It's weird having Madden come out and we haven't even seen more than one preseason game yet. But we're 5-2-1. That's all right. What about our injury situation? We're good. Should the college football playoff expand to 18 or 16 teams? I would go with 8 first, but I would love a 16-game playoff. Yeah, Geis, I don't know if I'd put... Well, Geis could have that kind of breakout. I'm not a huge... I don't think I'm as high on Geis as others. I think he's a good player, though. But I was kind of thinking more later, more obscure. But I guess Kamara wasn't obscure. Kareem Hunt wasn't obscure. All right, everybody. I think that is going to about wrap it up for us today. I hope you had a good time here with the stream. This was my second edition here of the Tennessee Titans Fantasy Draft franchise. I'm getting into Madden 19, getting a feel for the game with you here live on my channel. And if you're enjoying the action, please smash that like button and subscribe. And I'll have a lot more Madden 19 content coming your way. I'll be talking about the top 5 teams to use in franchise this year. I'll be having my own franchise getting underway, and we'll be going through multiple seasons. On my second channel, I'll be doing a long rebuild series, multiple years. I'd say we could see another, perhaps 20-season series over there. Player-based content, lots of Madden content here, and if you're not already subscribed, both here, youtube.com/MrHurriicane, and youtube.com/MrHurricaneLP. I got a lot of football for you to watch. So if that's your flavor, you've come to the right place. All right, everybody. I'll see you all later. Have a great rest of your evening.